Hello everyone and all you Pokemon fans. Today I am Gabriel. Today we are going to research on my episode called Gab's Pokemon Research Project. It's where I can research Pokemon from different regions in the Pokemon world. To start it off, we'll go to the Kanto region to study all about Kanto Pokemon. Let's get things started. Bulbasaur, the Seed Pokemon, a grass and poison type. Bulbasaur likes to take a nap in the sunshine. While it sleeps, the seed on its back catches the rays and uses the energy to grow. Ivysaur, the Seed Pokemon, a grass and poison type. Carrying the weight of the bud on its back makes Ivysaur's legs stronger. When the bud is close to blooming, the Pokemon spends more time sleeping in the sun. Venusaur, the Seed Pokemon, a grass and poison type. When Venusaur is well nourished and spends enough time in the sun, the flower on its back is brightly colored. The blossom gives off a soothing scent. Charmander, the Lizard Pokemon, a fire type. The flame on Charmander's tail tip indicates how the Pokemon is feeling. It flares up in a fury when Charmander is angry. Charmeleon, the Flame Pokemon, a fire type. When Charmeleon takes on a powerful opponent in battle, its tail flame glows hot. Its claws are very sharp. Charizard, the Flame Pokemon, a fire and flying type. Charizard seeks out stronger foes and only breathes fire during battles with worthy opponents. The fiery breath is so hot that it can turn any material to slack. Squirtle, the tiny turtle Pokemon, a water type. With its aerodynamic shape and grooved surface, Squirtle's shell helps it cut through the water very quickly. It also offers protection in battle. Wartortle, the turtle Pokemon, a water type. The fur on Wartortle's tail darkens with age. Its shell bears the scratches of many battles. Blastoise, the shellfish Pokemon, a water type. From the spouts on its shell, Blastoise can fire water bullets with amazing accuracy. It can hit a target more than 160 feet away. Caterpie, the worm Pokemon, a bug type. Caterpie is recommended for trainers just starting their journey. It doesn't require much effort to catch and raise this Pokemon. To repel the flying types that like to attack it, Caterpie produces a terrible smell from its antennae. Metapod, the cocoon Pokemon, a bug type. Inside Metapod's hard shell, its body is soft and vulnerable. It takes care not to move around too much or get into serious battles for fear of breaking the shell. Butterfree, the butterfly Pokemon, a bug and flying type. Butterfree's wings are covered in scales that carry poison. When attacked, it flutters its wings madly to scatter these scales. Its large compound eyes are formed of many tiny eyes. Weedle, the hairy bug Pokemon, a bug and poison type. Weedle's sense of smell is excellent. With its large red nose, it can sniff out the leaves it likes best. Kakuna, the cocoon Pokemon, a bug and poison type. Kakuna appears motionless from the outside, but inside its shell, it's busily preparing to evolve. Sometimes the shell heats up from this activity. Beedrill, the poison bee Pokemon, a bug and poison type. Stay away from a Beedrill nest. These territorial Pokemon will swarm any intruder in a furious attack. Pidgey, the tiny bird Pokemon, a normal and flying type. Thanks to Pidgey's excellent sense of direction, it can always find its way home, no matter how far it has traveled. Pidgeotto, the bird Pokemon, a normal and flying type. Very territorial, Pidgeotto keeps up a steady patrol of the large area it claims as its home. Any intruder will be driven off with merciless attacks from its sharp claws. Pidgeot, the bird Pokemon, a normal and flying type. Many trainers are drawn to Pidgeot because of its lovely feathers. The beautiful colors of its crest are particularly striking. Rattata, the mouse Pokemon, a normal type. Rattata's teeth keep growing throughout its life, so it has to chew on hard objects to keep them from wilted down. They can live happily even in filthy conditions, which sometimes leads to overpopulation. Raticate, the mouse Pokemon, a normal type. The webbing on its hind feet makes Raticate a good swimmer. Approach with caution. This Pokemon has a nasty temper and will bite with little provocation. Spearow, the tiny bird Pokemon, a normal and flying type. Spearow's wings are too short for effective flying, so they stay on the ground and move about with rapid hops. They drive off so many bug types that farmers really like having them around. Fearow, the beak Pokemon, a normal and flying type. It's unclear how long Fearow has been around, but ancient artwork seem to depict this long beak Pokemon. Its untiring wings enable it to fly the whole day through, even when it's carrying something heavy. Ekans, the snake Pokemon, a poison type. When it's ready for a meal, Ekans can open its mouth extra wide to swallow things that are bigger than itself. Sometimes that trick isn't enough. If a particular big bite gets stuck, it can cause Ekans to faint. Arbok, the cobra Pokemon, a poison type. The patterns on Arbok's stomach can confuse and befuddle its opponents long enough for it to trap them in its coils. Nearly 24 variations of these patterns have been observed. Pikachu, the mouse Pokemon, an electric type. Pikachu naturally stores up electricity in its body, and it needs to discharge that energy on a regular basis to maintain good health. To take advantage of this, some have suggested creating a Pikachu-fueled power plant. Raichu, the mouse Pokemon, an electric type. Raichu can unleash enough electricity to feed a much larger Pokemon in a single devastating shock. When it's all charged up, it will attack just about anything, including its trainer. Sandshrew, the mouse Pokemon, a ground type. Sandshrew often lives in the desert and other dry places, so it's accustomed to life with very little rainfall. It can move quickly by curling itself into a ball and rolling across the sand. Sandslash, the mouse Pokemon, a ground type. The spikes that cover Sandslash are sharp but brittle, easily broken on impact. Fortunately, they grow back very quickly. It sometimes ambushes foes by rolling up into a spiny ball and dropping from above. Nidoran, the poison pin Pokemon, a poison type. Though female Nidoran is small, it's quite dangerous. The barbs in its fur and the horn on its head are both extremely poisonous. Nidorina, the poison pin Pokemon, a poison type. Nidorina are very social and become nervous on their own. When among friends, their poisonous barbs retract so they don't hurt anyone. Nidoqueen, the drill Pokemon, a poison and ground type. When defending its nest, Nidoqueen hurls its hard-scaled body at an intruder. The impact is often enough to send the enemy flying through the air. Nidoran, the poison pin Pokemon, a poison type. Male Nidoran has excellent hearing, and thanks to specialized muscles, it can move and rotate its ears to pick up the slightest sound. Nidorina, the poison pin Pokemon, a poison type. The heart on Nidorina's forehead is made of an extremely hard substance. When challenged, its body bristles with poisonous barbs. Nidoking, the drill Pokemon, a poison and ground type. When Nidoking swings its massive tail, it can knock down a radio tower. Nothing can stand in the way of its furious rampage. Clefairy, the fairy Pokemon, a fairy type. Who doesn't love Clefairy? People of all ages think they're really adorable, but they can be hard to find. When they dance under the full moon, a strange magnetic force surrounds the area. Clefable, the fairy Pokemon, a fairy type. Clefable usually stays hidden, living in the mountains far from people. Traditions hold that anyone who sees two Clefables skipping along together will have a happy marriage. Vulpix, the fox Pokemon, a fire type. Vulpix is prized for its lovely fur and multiple tails, which keeps splitting as it grows. Some people think the ghostly fire from its mouth is a departed spirit. Ninetales, the fox Pokemon, a fire type. Ninetales is capable of bending fire to its will. It can live for 1,000 years and was created when 9 saints emerged into a single being, according to legend. Jigglypuff, the balloon Pokemon, a normal and fairy type. Because it can inflate its body like a balloon, Jigglypuff has incredible lung capacity. This allows it to sustain its mysterious song until everyone listening falls asleep. Wigglytuff, the balloon Pokemon, a normal and fairy type. When the weather gets warm, Wigglytuff shed their fur, which can be spun into delightfully soft yarn. As these Pokemon breathe in, their bodies expand to hold more air. Sometimes they make a game of how much they can inflate. Zubat, the bat Pokemon, a poison and flying type. Being in the sun isn't healthy for Zubat, so it spends the day sleeping in caves. Since it doesn't have eyes, it uses ultrasonic waves to detect its surroundings. Golbat, the bat Pokemon, a poison and flying type. Golbat's fangs are hollow, which allows it to suck up blood for its meals more efficiently. This efficiency can cause problems though. Sometimes it eats so much that it has trouble flying afterwards. Oddish, the weed Pokemon, a grass and poison type. Oddish seeks out fertile ground where it can absorb nutrients from the soil. When it finds the perfect spot, it buries itself and its feet apparently become like root trees. Gloom, the weed Pokemon, a grass and poison type. Gloom doesn't always smell terrible. When it feels safe and relaxed, its aroma fades. However, its nectar usually carries an awful stench. Plume, the flower Pokemon, a grass and poison type. Many people are terribly allergic to the poisonous pollen Plume gives off. The petals of its flower are truly enormous. Paras, the mushroom Pokemon, a bug and grass type. When Paras eats, it's mostly just feeding the mushroom that grows on its back. These mushrooms, known as tokukaso, can be picked, dried, and ground into a powder for use in medicine. Parasect, the mushroom Pokemon, a bug and grass type. Parasect is just a pawn of the giant mushroom that it controls it. The mushroom spores are toxic, but they do have medicinal properties for those careful enough to harvest them safely. Venonat, the insect Pokemon, a bug and poison type. Venonat's large sensitive eyes pick up even the tiniest movement. The stir hair that covers its body protects it from harm. Venomoth, the poison moth Pokemon, a bug and poison type. When they become active after dark, Venomoths are often drawn to street lamps. It isn't the light that attracts them, but the promise of food. Diglett, the mole Pokemon, a ground type. To farmers, Diglett can be a blessing or a curse. The soil it lives in becomes rich and fertile, great for growing crops. But this Pokemon can also be destructive, chewing on the roots of those crops. Dugtrio, the mole Pokemon, a ground type. By working together, the triplets that make up a Dugtrio can dig 60 miles into the ground. No one knows what this Pokemon's body looks like because only its head show above the dirt. Meowth, the Scratch Cat Pokemon, a normal type. Meowth lazes about during the day and becomes active at night, when it roams city streets looking for coins and other shiny objects. It has developed a rivalry with Murkrow. Persian, the Classy Cat Pokemon, a normal type. It's tough to become friends with this Pokemon. Persian is vain and violent, and anyone who meets its gaze will feel the pain of its sharp claws. Psyduck, the duck Pokemon, a water type. Poor Psyduck suffers from terrible headaches, which somehow enhance its psychic powers, but it's often too miserable to control those powers. The pain can be intense enough to make it cry. Golduck, the duck Pokemon, a water type. People used to think they could gain mysterious powers by taking the red orb from Golduck's forehead. It keeps an eye out for underwater Pokemon as it patrols near the edge of its lake home. Mankey, the pig monkey Pokemon, a fighting type. Mankey's rage is so exhausted that it falls asleep, then wakes itself up by rampaging through its dreams, and waking up makes it mad. Being lonely makes it angry, but its rage drives everyone away, and then it's lonely again. Primate, the pig monkey Pokemon, a fighting type. Primate's rage can be so intense that the wild emotions coursing through its body put its own health at risk. Even returning to its Pokeball might not be enough to calm it down. Growlithe, the puppy Pokemon, a fire type. If you try to pet another trainer's Growly, you'll soon discover this Pokemon isn't just cute. It has a fiercely territorial side. It's known for its intelligence and loyalty. Arcanine, the legendary Pokemon, a fire type. Beautiful and majestic, Arcanine uses the flame that burns within it as fuel to run amazing distances. Ancient Eastern folklore speaks of this powerful Pokemon. Poliwag, the tadpole Pokemon, a water type. Poliwag's skin is so thin that you can see right through it to the Pokemon's spiral-shaped insides. It's not very skilled at walking on land, but a trainer can help it get better. Poliwhirl, the tadpole Pokemon, a water type. Poliwhirl is amphibious, equally at home on land or in the water. It weighs the options carefully. There's more food to be found on land, but it also more likely to be attacked by dangerous Pokemon. Poliwrath, the tadpole Pokemon, a water and fighting type. Kids in Alola often learn to swim by watching local Poliwraths cut through the waves with a powerful breaststroke. This Pokemon's body is dense with muscles, so it has to swim instead of floating. Abra, the Psy Pokemon, a psychic type. Even while Abra is sleeping, which is most of the time, it can't escape a foe by teleporting away. Sometimes it wakes up to find itself in an unfamiliar location and gets scared. Kadabra, the Psy Pokemon, a psychic type. When Kadabra is around, its strong psychic powers can sometimes interfere with electronics like computer monitors or televisions. Strange, creepy shadows can be seen on the screen when this happens. Alakazam, the Psy Pokemon, a psychic type. Alakazam's brain never stops growing, and its head has to keep expanding to contain its enormous intellect. If its psychic powers overflow, everyone nearby will get a splitting headache. Machop, the superpower Pokemon, a fighting type. Exercise is Machop's favorite thing in the world, and its developing muscles reinforce its devotion to working out. It's strong enough to pick up and throw the weight of 100 people. Machoke, the superpower Pokemon, a fighting type. Machoke happily pitches in when people need help with a tough physical job. Moving and carrying heavy things is just one more way for it to train its muscles. Machamp, the superpower Pokemon, a fighting type. Machamp really shines when it's called upon to perform feats of strength. With its 4 massive arms, it can even pick up a heavy dump truck. It's less good at tasks that require manual dexterity and precision. Bellsprout, the flower Pokemon, a grass and poison type. Bellsprout's long thin body can bend in any direction, so it's good at dodging attacks. The liquid it spits is highly corrosive. Weepinbell, the flycatcher Pokemon, a grass and poison type. The hooked stem behind its head lets Weepinbell hang from a tree branch to sleep. Sometimes it falls to the ground during the night. Victreebel, the flycatcher Pokemon, a grass and poison type. Victreebel uses its long vine like a fishing lure, swishing and flicking it to draw prey closer to its gaping mouth. Tentacool, the jellyfish Pokemon, a water and poison type. If you find a dried out Tentacool on the beach, you could try soaking it in water to restore it to good health. Watch out though, its tentacles carry a poison that could send you to the hospital. Tentacruel, the jellyfish Pokemon, a water and poison type. Tentacruel starts out with 80 tentacles, all packed with nasty poison. As it grows older, some of its tentacles are damaged or broken off in battle. When many Tentacruel gather, other Pokemon flee the area. Geodude, the rock Pokemon, a rock and ground type. It might be tempting to gather up Geodude found along the road and throw them around like balls, but that's a bad idea. They're very heavy and their surface extremely hard. Ouch! Graveler, the rock Pokemon, a rock and ground type. Graveler can't walk very fast, but when it tucks itself into a ball, it can roll as fast as a car once it gains momentum. It loves to crunch on moss-covered rocks. Golem, the Megaton Pokemon, a rock and ground type. Golem's annual mold leaves behind its shell that makes good for good fertilizer when incorporated into the soil. This Pokemon can easily stand up to an explosion, but it really hates getting wet. Ponyta, the Fire Horse Pokemon, a Fire type. At the beginning of its life, Ponyta's legs are too weak to hold it up. It quickly learns to run by chasing after its elders. Rapidash, the Fire Horse Pokemon, a Fire type. Most of the time, Rapidash travels at a casual canter across the flatlands where it lives. When it breaks into a gallop, its mane blazes brightly. Sorry everyone, looks like part 1 of my Pokemon research project is just at the end. But don't worry, I'll be recording part 2 later. So, stay tuned for more Pokemon.